I've always viewed, and I think I still will, particularly in the Opera House, the music festival is one gigantic classroom, one joyous, gigantic music classroom. You're seeing two aspects of the students. You're seeing in the first part them being very well behaved, disciplined, focused, intensely immersive. What also happens after that, and of course the raison d'etre of the whole music festival, is the inter-house music competition, and that's where the girls are doing it themselves. And in our classroom, we really encourage the girls from the early days to start making creative decisions themselves and taking responsibility for what they do.
We have a lot to get through. This music festival,
it's the shortest.
Yeah, the rehearsal period is a lot shorter than it has been in the past couple of years. So we only have 2 weeks to
Normally
put
we
together
get
these
3.5 or 4, depending on the
And-
year. It's a bit scary at times because I feel like the girls expect us to be teachers, but I'm 17. I am so far from a teacher, it's not even funny. So we're just trying to get them in the right mindset.
I try to be very enthusiastic leader myself. I try to feel like I'm in year 12. It's time to take some initiative, some responsibility, and just really try to step up and be a leader.
Having to teach an enormous amount of information whilst managing and encouraging these girls. But you're also seeing a lot of girls who are sort of the second phalanx behind there, also teaching by role modeling and controlling and so forth. They're learning so much more than just music. They're learning about how to manage people, how to motivate people, how to organize themselves to deal with conflicting, intersecting assessments and other rehearsals and so on and so forth. It's an extraordinary thing we throw in these girls' laps in the first few weeks of the term. And so they're learning really to lead because they've got no choice. If they don't lead, the whole thing's going to fall apart. But they also know that there's no point leading from the front. Because if they do, they'll turn around and see that everyone is way behind them. They have to somehow take these girls with them on this extraordinary trajectory from awkward beginnings, unpromising beginnings quite often, through to the triumph of what happens on that night.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think at the very beginning, like in my first couple rehearsals, I'd be like, guys, can you stop to
So loud. Okay. So now we're going to move on to the next one.
House prefects will come up to me with dilemmas of girls who aren't singing, some with attitude, they're enthusiastic but they just won't quieten down, and it changes from house to house. And it's no one's fault, it's just that dynamic that arises from a certain group of people coming together. How do we be good cop and bad cop at the same time?
What I've learned and what Mr. Curtis, our house patron, has taught me a lot of the time is you can't let it affect how you perform, because if you do, then you're just going to be the nasty teacher, which everyone's had once in their lives. And as a still in Year 12 student, you can't come across as that way, because then they just won't respond to you the same way. You just got to stay positive, otherwise everything sort of falls apart. You're the rock in the big picture and can't break.
And also, by the way, guys, there was 5 people that looked at my piece last night after we said to go around and look at them. So only 5 cupcakes to give out, but there's other food. But we're sending you voice memos out tonight, so please listen to them over the weekend. I'm begging you.
Everyone stand up. Stand up, check the song.
Check Sundown.
Thanks, girls. Very nice.
So the prefects themselves and head Year 12s are having to manage this thing of discipline and control without losing the hearts and souls of the girls. And that's the thing, you can make kids sit down and work quietly behind their desks. Gambala girls are very good at doing that, certainly at least giving the impression of it. It's much more difficult to say, shush, behave, oh, but now sing with your hearts out and trust me. That's the incredible challenge.
Some of them just never sing unless they have to, unless they're forced to. And to get them to be really enthusiastic about singing is something that a conductor should also do, other than just being really technically proficient.
These girls are superior to what I've seen from practicum teachers. in Year 12 without the adulthood and the objective separation. What they do over those 3 weeks never ceases to amaze me.
encapsulated in 3 or 4 minutes, I know I made the right decision in terms of my career and the school I chose to spend. That's just magic.